welcome back. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I want to show you how I have installed some IKEA blinds. Now, I know, by the way, my name's Kaz, and I am the proud owner of a 1991 coaster bus, and I've been spending the last X amount of weeks redecorating. So one of the things I needed to do was change the window dressings, shall we call them. So quite often when we've bought caravans, buses, vans, whatever, quite often they come with, especially if they're as old as mine, they come with not the most attractive window dressing. I don't know why I'm calling them window dressings. What are they called? Our window treatments. Anyway, I will show you what I did come with. The original curtains, because this particular bus used to be, from what I understand, a tour bus in Japan. So, you know, the curtains were probably quite fun and they did the job, but they're not the prettiest and it didn't really suit what I wanted. So what I did was I went to IKEA and I bought some blinds. I'll take a photo and pop it up in here to show you in this video, so you can get the correct ones. I'm pretty sure there's lots of different types that you can get, but these ones, they were a really affordable option. I think it was $10 Australian. And I've made a few modifications so that I can make it work for me. Now, a little disclaimer, I am not by any way, shape or form a DIY expert, any handy person skills. I don't have them. So I've just made it work for me. So it might not be the best way of doing it, the most ideal way of doing it, but it's the way I've done it, and it will work until it doesn't, and then I'll figure out a new way of doing it. So just keep that in mind when I'm about to show you, because you might think, could have been done better. Amazing. Do it your way. So let me just show you, first of all, what I'm talking about. I'll show you the blind that I've already installed, and then I'll walk you through step by step how I've done it for me. Okay. So these are the blinds here that I've just stuck above the window. This is my kitchen window. Let me just walk you back a little bit so you can kind of get a better view. So I've installed it there above my kitchen window. I'll just pop you back. I've installed these extra bits, but you can just use ribbon or whatever you want. Just something that you think looks pretty. It's just worked for me. And then they just come down like that and they fix to the bottom. The way these are fixed to the bottom is just what is with the Velcro that IKEA provide in the pack. So there's a Velcro tab at each end, and you can just attach them like that. Super easy. So there's no drilling, there is no screws, nothing like that. And then when I want to put them back, I just lift them off their Velcro straps and raise it up like that. Then I've got my little dangly things, and I just attach it to more Velcro like that. So I'm going to fix this blind across here. Okay, what you're going to need is one of these, which is by the way, the size of it is 100 by 190. And if the length's too long, don't worry, you can cut very easily with scissors. It's like paper, but it's very strong. I did read a comment when I was researching this, that someone said they love it so much their cat has climbed up them and it hasn't ripped. So I thought, great, that's strong enough, that's all I need. The next thing you're going to need is a Stanley knife, okay? And then you're going to need some of these dots. Oh, by the way, it comes in black or white, whatever works for you. So Then you need some of these Velcro dots, and I just bought from the $2 shop or whatever, or $3.99 actually, a pack of those. Or you might need a couple of packs. Then you're going to need, I bought these because I thought that was pretty cool, and it kind of goes with what I'm doing in my bus, my sort of decor. Something a little bit fun. But you can go into Spotlight, and there's so many different types of ribbon, and it might take your fancy that you might like for yours. But I've chosen these. The reason why I chose these, I thought, oh look, if the Velcro doesn't stick on this type of fabric, doesn't matter, I can stick it onto the coins, these gold dangly bits, and I thought that might work. But I have installed another one, and it did seem, the Velcro did seem to stick fine. And you can also use super glue to stick it down on whatever fabric that you choose to use as well. That's the other thing I got, was super glue. You might need some of that. This one's been open for a bit, so it might not even work for this one, but we'll soon find out because I didn't put the lid on. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, obviously, is open your packet of the blinds, and I'll show you what it comes with. Now, if you need to cut it to size, you can easily cut through it with the Stanley knife as well. So it comes with a Velcro strips, so you've got plenty there, and you've got these clip things that clip to the bottom of your blind. The other thing to take note of is the way IKEA have done it. They've got this bit of their label on here, but you might want to just cut here if it's too long, you know, like cut one of these off, or get a pick, what do you call that, one of those things that you can pick the stitching off. The other thing to let you know is that you've got this dull side, and then you've got a shiny side. Now, I don't know if there's a right side or a wrong side to hang them, but I quite liked the shiny side facing me, facing into the bus, so that's what I've gone with. Now, on this side, you've got the strip. You peel this off, here, and it's sticky to stick onto your surface. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is peel off this white tape. Once you know where you're going to stick it, and you've measured it out and you've cut it. I don't need to cut mine for this particular window anyway, but it can easily cut with a Stanley knife. Then what I'm going to do, which you might not need to, is I'm actually applying some super glue along that sticky bit, just to make sure it really is stuck down, because the surface that I'm sticking it on isn't probably the most ideal. I'm actually going to, I'll show you where I'm going to stick it. So that's my super glue applied. Now I'm going to stick it where I want it to go. And oops. Okay, just like that. Oops. Just give it a firm push down, and then I just let it fall, and then come along again along the top and press it down like that, just to give it a bit of extra stickiness. Hopefully that stays there like that. Then what you want to do is grab these clips that they IKEA provide, and they just clip. I have cut that tag off, but you didn't want to see that. That's boring footage. So I have cut those off, and now you just slip those like that, and then one on the other side. Easy peasy. Now, what you can do is get your Stanley knife and cut the size that you want of this Velcro that's going to go on here. Okay, you can do that, but on this window I don't think I'm going to need it, and as you can see, it just stays down there just fine. I could always pull more, and this is the cool thing about these blinds, is that you can pull them how you want them and they'll still come back up the way they should go. Now we're going to move on to our Velcro dots. So firstly, I get my dangle things and I put a dot on each end like this. Get another one. Right, use the other one. Dot there. And one on that side. Perfect. Now we are going to attach a dot here and then one underneath. I'll show you that. So firstly, a dot here, about there will do. And then if I lift up the blind again, and you come under where you're going to stick your dangle bit, or your bit of lace, or your bit of ribbon, and there you go. Done. So let me do the other side. One dot there, the other dot under there. So then we hang it up. That's it. So if you wanted to use this, let me just show you how easy it is. So you just grab your Stanley knife. I've just got my chopping board, and just cut however amount size you think. There's no specific measurements for any of this. I'd just say make sure that your knife's sharp. I went out and bought a new one for this project because I noticed that it was a bit rusty. We'll do this end first because the clip's lost on that side. So you just stick it down on there and put this clip back. And you've got your other Velcro here. So I've sorted the clip out and attached it again. It's just going to get lost behind my bed each time I use it, so I probably won't even use that. I think I'll just tuck it down there, but I just wanted to put it on just to show you. And then all you need to do is put the other side of the Velcro where you will think that it's going to go. So for me, it's going to end up on this. Let's have a look where it's going to go. On this side, it's probably going to go about there. So I'll stick that to there. There we go. And that's my blinds. and the blackout blinds, so no waking up at the crack of dawn. I can sleep in if I want to. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have given it a go, and maybe even send a photo. I'd love to see what you've done with yours, if you're going to be doing the same method. I think it's brilliant. Let me just show you the other blind I did. So as I was saying before, that's the original curtains that came with this bus. So that's what I'm replacing. I don't like them, so I'm going with these blinds. And in this kitchen window, you can see that behind my TV that I have installed a smaller blind here. So I've cut that to fit this window. So I've got the original length, which is 1 meter, and then I had some left over from another blind that, would you believe, perfectly fit the rest of the window. So I'll pull that window up, this show you how. Can you see how you can it just always just seems to go back to shape? And that's the blind hanging up. I might need to put a light on. That's a bit better. So that's the blind up. So I've got 2 there across this kitchen window. And now I've got behind this TV, let me move that out the way. Now I've got the other part of the kitchen with it up there. And so you can see how you can pull it down, it'll just always keep going back to shape. So I'll pull it up and show you. I'll take off my right here. Look at that. And that's good. And with the Velcro, if you think that you want to do it shorter, or too much like this maybe, you can have it up higher or lower. What do you think? Another bonus to this blind is that you could actually attach it to your glass. If you don't need, if you've got a window that doesn't actually open, you don't have to try and find some actual fitting to go over the top. You could probably just get away with attaching it to the glass itself. I think it'll be fine. If you want to give it a go, I mean, you're not losing anything. It only costs $10. If it doesn't work out, you can find a different solution maybe. But I have a couple of glass panels in this bus with, there's nowhere, unless I attach some kind of strip above it, which I could do. I mean, currently this is what I'm attaching it to. The railing of where the curtains, this here, I'm just attaching it above that, so it sits above. Can you see what I mean? So we've got, somehow I've got this strip, and then I've got this as well. So some of my windows have this, some of them don't. So the ones that don't, those ones actually, just so happens, don't actually have windows that open. I actually only have 3 windows that open in the bus. So the rest of the windows, they don't have a opening. So I don't have to worry about where I'm going to attach the blind. So I could even attach it onto the glass. I think it'll be fine to do that, so I might do that. So I'm doing another window now. So I've used this as my measure tape. This is the bit of white strip with the instructions that comes in the packet. So if you're going to cut it because you need to fit your window, I suggest that you cut the end off with that tag. Remember how I told you about that tag? I've just torn that off, but it would be much nicer to not have that if you can avoid it. So I'm using my measure thing just to get in there, put it on my chopping board, get my sharp knife, and just, you're not going to be able to get it all in one go. Right, here we go. Done. And there we have it. We now have a blind installed just like that, easy peasy, above my bed. And again, I've decided not to put those clips on the bottom because that blind is going to have to tuck behind this mattress. So I'll just be tucking it in and it'll stay there. I won't need to velcro the bottom down. You can see too, you can squish them down and they'll always come back into that pleated position. So, and you can have them down as low or you can have it up higher if you want. I just think it looks nice just like that. I've had them up now for a couple of days. Well, this one is just new, but I'll spin you round. This one has been up for a couple of days now and it hasn't budged. And also I've installed this one, and again that one hasn't budged either. And I think when I did this one I thought that's a bit high, so that's why I decided to drop them down a little bit lower. And as you can see on this one, I have put the Velcro underneath. I don't think it looks particularly pretty with those clips and the Velcro there, so I'm not sure if I'll do that on any of them unless it's necessary. So I hope that was helpful. If you're looking to put new blinds at your bus, caravan, van, whatever you've got, if this sounds like it suits you, I think it's ideal. There's no need for any tools, any machinery or anything like that. We're just getting crafty and I think that's fun. So I'll let you know how it goes. If I decide to get something different, I'll keep you posted.